Think about how the internet was first introduced in 1992. There was practically nobody using it. You ask somebody for their email, nobody would actually have an email, right? And then it took a number of years until it started to gain momentum and more people were using it. So when Bitcoin was first introduced, we realized that the world economy had just collapsed, and it came up as a solution essentially to get away from the existing financial system and how money was being handled, right? And since then, it's just continued to go along as Bitcoin goes. And since then, we've had other crypto projects come in. And now we're at a point where we have more than just the cypherpunks and the geeks actually being able to utilize this new technology. Think about how the internet was first introduced in 1992. There was practically nobody using it. You ask somebody for their email, nobody would actually have an email, right? And then it took a number of years until it started to gain momentum and more people were using it. The way it's changing the world today, you have so many things happening in the financial sector now that are becoming more and more wanting to move into decentralized systems, because the more we're seeing the economic conditions of the world changing in ways that are not so positive, the more we want to have systems that are decentralized, that are going to help people to gain trust in the systems that are being used today. So on the macro level, the way it's changing the world is it's giving people an alternative to having to put their trust in these states, if not these institutions, which have existed for so many years. The existing institutions of today have largely lost the trust of the people. So we need to have a system that doesn't require people to have that counterparty trust, because it's been proven over time that as long as people have that power, it's going to be corrupted. And we can't have that kind of situation in order for everybody to be able to grow and for economies to grow and for everyone to thrive. So this is an alternative that allows for everyone not only to be able to participate in a new type of an economy, but it's going to enable people to be able to actually transact in not just a macro level, but the micro level. Think about some of the economies that exist in other parts of the world, like that are still in development, and they don't have as much value as some of the Western economies. So you need to have something that can handle both large economies and small economies. We have networks now that can handle microtransactions down to buying a cup of coffee, all the way up to handling huge transactions for settling giant volumes of transactions between corporations, if not countries. To take, for example, El Salvador, whose currency was in such a failed state, whose policies as a country actually were being hindered by the rest of the world because of them having to engage with different entities that, again, from the traditional standpoint, have not done so well in terms of handling the trust of the people. It's a good example of a country which was not able to escape from their situation and decided, you know what, I'm no longer going to work with the world, with the IMF. I'm not going to work with the International Monetary Fund. I'm not going to deal with these embargoes put on our country from other countries that are hindering our economic development. Instead, we are going to move away from dealing with some type of a fiat currency, and we're putting it in Bitcoin. So they were the first, and they won't be the last. There's others that are likely to follow suit because this becomes a store of value that everybody is able to settle on, and that way there isn't the power to be able to stop them in terms of their growth the way that has been possible in the past. So this really changes the game. When you think of a game, it's got rules, and now the rules are changing because of this new technology. So we've got a very exciting opportunity to be at the ground level of these changing rules, which means that it creates an opportunity for everyone that gets involved to be able to actually really thrive and be on board. in the past, the ability for people of all classes to be able to participate has always been limited. It's always been to the elite and the rich that are able to take advantage of all these new innovations and new types of movements. Today, it's the guy on the street that is able to actually participate in this new economy. So the world's changing thanks to this new technology in huge ways. And I can only imagine it's just going to get better and better.